So in the last session we have discussed until here. So this also we have discussed. Include file also discussed. So now let's coming to taglib directive. Okay. What is this taglib directive? So in many of frameworks, what they did is, so they have created their own tag library. Means, so that if you see in struts or struts, recently they have released one more version, it seems. Okay, let's go documentation. This they haven't said. Science. Yeah, these are the struts related tags. Struts 2 related tags. Let's go into see. If you see here, so they have given a bunch of tag libraries, which is control tags under data tags, A, action, being, date, debug, I18N, include param, and all these things are related to data tags, and all these things are related to control tags. Control tags are nothing but like just control statements in Java. So let's go for if. So how this if tag will work? So perform the basic condition operation. If tag should something somewhere these things. Okay. And coming to here, he has given the syntax called. So there will be a attribute name test. It is a required value. Okay. So it's a Boolean value. Okay. So expression to determine something. Okay. Let's move on to tag. So if you see here, yes colon if. Why he has given s colon if? Means let's take one more example, or else we can keep this in here. So why he has taken yes colon if? So he has created a tag called if, but we need to know whether those tags are related to struts or something else. So we can specify a URI name. I mean, URI name means. So let's open a taglib. So in that you will have some URI. So there are no URIs available since we haven't included the struts related jars here. So that's why you are not able to get any URI name. Suppose if you are included all the struts related jars to our project, so you will get some bunch of URIs. There you can view all these things, and the prefix as yes, you can view yes or else anything. struts2 or anything. So if you give struts2 here, you have to call this tag like this, struts2 colon if. So prefix is nothing but what are the, you are making this tag library. So you will use some URI here. So you are making that URI related tags, all the URI related tags prefixed with this, whatever the content, whatever the name or character you are giving here. So let me explain you one more called JSTL. So JSTL is nothing but advanced. It is advanced to your JSP. You are not having. Let's wait. I will check the library file. I think I missed this JSTL file. So let me import this. Let me pull the JSTL jar file from the repository. So we are downloading this JSTL file and keeping here. What is this? Let's build this project. If we install, all the jars will be placed here in your target. Let's wait. So it is building. So I will show you what is this, what is the kind of this project. This project is Maven project. So I will say you in future what is Maven and what are the goals related to Maven. It is very important for us. So let's not waste the time to debug what's the. So we'll go to directly this location. Where is it situated? C colon C users repository JSTL. Fine. So we have a jar of JSTL here. So JSTL is nothing but it's a JSP extension library. Yeah, JSP standard tag library. So we'll add that jar to our project so that we can get the taglibs of JSP. So okay, we got all the things. So it is added to your project. Here you can find the web libraries. So let's go to city. So if you give here, so it's related to JSTL, right? JSTL prefix. You see here, you got bunch of URIs. Previously, you haven't got anything because you haven't implemented. So you haven't injected any jar in your. You haven't taken any jar in your project. I have taken a Sun-related JSTL core library. So so in JSTL you have a bunch of URIs. So each URI is specific to its own. Means if you use core URI means for core you will have a bunch of taglibs. Let's see what core has. Since it is core, we will treat it as C. Okay, if you observe here, so control space, if you keep control space, you will get all the tags related to C. See, you have C catch, C choose, C for each. So you can have all these things. So catch means catch a throwable, optionally explore or some choose. It's a conditional tag which something is there for each. For each is very important. So to iterate some collection of data which is sent from Servlet or some other kind of resource tokens. If is the same thing what we have discussed in struts2. Okay, so out is nothing but it's a expression. It's just like expression tag. So param, redirect, set, URL, when, and all these things. Apart from this, you also have JSP tags, attribute, body, and forward. Forward is nothing but just like forward. Forward, I didn't remember that. forward. So include is nothing but include directive tag. It's just like include directive tag. Okay, let's move on to JSJ. So tag lib. How this tag? Before coming to tag lib, I want to say you. So you are aware of set attribute and get attributes, right? So if you set some data in your servlet that need to be displayed in your JSP, we will use set attribute and get attribute under specific scope. So see here in the city, so we have we have written all the Java code, all the database communication code, and we are iterating here itself. Suppose I don't want to do all this Java code in JSP. So I want to write all the Java code only in servlets. Okay, in city servlet, I have written all the code. Okay, I will do one thing. Move this code to some another code sample and don't call the project. Okay, so what I will do, I need to, before going to so there is a country and do one thing, also next. We don't do all these things now, so it's time consuming thing. So it's already there in some servlet. We already did the same thing. Yeah, here. So we'll make use of this method. So what we are doing, we are first of all we are querying the countries, and then the languages of that country code, and then the cities of that country code, and we are placing in some country object, and then we are placing that country object in list of countries. Okay. That's good. So now what we have to do? Make this as not void. That's fine. Now what we have to do? So just don't open anything here. Just call connect. No need of this exception handling because we are already handling there. So what is this connect? It returns a list of entries. So this is very important, guys. So connect is returning some list of countries. Let's don't make the mother name as connect. So So we'll make that name as get countries method. Okay, fine. So after getting this country object, what we have to do? So we'll just directly do one thing. So the request scope I want to give set attribute countries. I'll give this countries object here. Now what I will do? Now what I will do is directly I will write send redirect. Finish city.jsp. As I said, we can also redirect to a JSP, right? So I'm redirecting to JSP. So I won't do all these things. So let's don't this. I have given so I took some backup of city file. So no need of all these things. No need of this one also. No need of this one as of now. So you will be needing this one. I will show you how to use JSP taglets. Right. So now in the request scope of you kept some object called countries object. See set attribute, right? So you can get that object, that key, that value by making use of this key in city.jsp. How to get it? So open a scriptlet tag. Or else I said for declaring a variables you need to use declaration tag, right? So let's open the declaration tag and we'll view it as we'll take a private variable list of, what is this? List of countries, right? Okay, countries is equal to in list of countries is equal to null. We'll make it as null, and now we'll take some scripted tag. There we will have the scopes. First dot to get attribute of countries. Make initialize this variables. So what it's saying? So type mismatch, right? So we have to convert it into so type conversion we need to do explicitly. So it's showing some warning also. So unchecked cast. Okay, fine. Let's say how we are. So it is saying that you will get an exception. It is unchecked. So object. So we are converting an object. So this returns an object. So we are converting that object into a list of countries. Okay, let's see. So it is saying it's an unchecked kind of thing. Suppose if you send something apart from this list means you'll get some exception. It's saying. So I got the countries thing. So now what I will do? I need to iterate this countries string. For size, right? Yes. I will iterate this thing. I'm closing closing this for loop also. What is this? Okay, now what I will do? So what I am setting here, entries, right? I need to get with the same values. Okay, fine. So in these countries, what is the object? So country name. Let's take only country name now. Okay. We'll do like this. Directly display the thing. So for displaying, you already have out object, out dot println of get of I dot get country name. I'll just directly print these things. So I think no need of opening one more scriptlet tag. So one scriptlet tag is enough. Okay, fine. Now we'll see what will happen when we fire this. So if you fire this, if you call this this city servlet, so it is getting all the country objects. So from database, and it is setting that country object in a set attribute, and it is redirecting to city.jsp. So now let's see what will happen if you do this. So what is the URL pattern of city? It's city. Okay. Localhost colon 8080 slash, what is the servlet? It's not there. 80:1, right? It's there. Now just call city. Okay. So I think we need to give the project name also here. So we need to call, we need to send redirect like this. If the city.jsp is under the same server, so if it is in the same server, it will directly redirect to this thing. Same server in the sense, the application, the city.jsp, it resides in some application. So we need to specify that application name. That's it. If we got exception, yeah, very good. So it is getting some null pointer exceptions. Where it is getting, see, if you observe here, so as I said, this JSP will be converting into servlet, right? See, so in that servlet, what are the lifecycle methods it will have? Init underscore JSP service. So it's just like service in your generic servlet. See, it is getting an exception here. See? So internally, this city.jsp will be converting into a servlet of name city underscore jsp.java. Okay, if you observe here, you can find, so here we got exception, right? So it's saying some exception occurred in 17th line. Okay, here. So you are not able to get this attribute. Why you are not able to get this attribute? Let's see. So you got all the things. So all the data you have got, but you are unable to keep that. Okay, so I think can we do so if you got exception, from exception if you solve the things means, then we can understand very clear. So let's keep in session object. So for the time being, this is and now let's see what will happen. Whether it will come or not. So that's, let's don't bother about the why it is not working now. I want to show you. So the set attribute and get attribute thing to you. Yes. Again we got no value. So why is it is not setting? Yes, we need to place here session, right? Now let's go positive result. Yeah, here. I think it's giving print ln means it need to let's dot we'll open some dr tag so that we'll have yes, see. So all the data. So whatever you set in a, so you have set this countries object in some countries attribute in session scope. So that session scope I am getting here. So session dot get attribute of all these things. So if you follow in this way, you can achieve the iteration. So iteration, what you are doing? You are doing a general iteration for each for loop. So you are opening a for loop and you are consuming the data in that list. So what? So later on writing this scriptlet. So in the rules, so you should not write any scriptlets until you are in need of writing any scriptlet or expression tags, expression tag or what I said. You should not write any scripting elements in your JSP until you require. It is must. Okay. So it's better use, instead of using scripting elements, you just use JSTL tags. So where you will use, so how can you use JSTL tags in this scenario? Okay, so let's see. So what I will do means, so I already included the tag lib. Okay, let's seek, right? C colon for each. We need to iterate. Okay, items, collection of items. So what is the collection of items here? Countries. We need to give We need to make use of expression language also. So this notation is nothing but expression language. Let's name of the export. So name of the exported scoped variable for current item. Let's take the name as country. Okay. For displaying C colon out is there, right? Out. Value. What is the value? Okay. We'll make the items like this. Entry dot entry name. So we'll check whether this works or not. So have you understood? Have you guys understood why I'm doing these things? So I want you guys to understand what is this set attribute and get attributes and where we can use these things. So we missed one topic, like we got some exception, right? I'll explain you why we got that exception also. Okay, in the request scope we got the exception, but not in the session scope. Okay, we'll check why later why we got these things. Okay, I'm commenting out this code. Okay, and I will see whether this is working or not. Yeah, it worked. Why it worked? How it worked? I'll explain it. I need to give some break also, right? So let's give some break also. Value as er tag. What is it? Oh, no. Directly give br tag. See, in JSP, I am not restarting the server. I have changed some part in JSP and it is reflecting that if I refresh. Okay. So what happens inside? So what is this tag library? And what is, so how it has bought? So here we have kept session.get attribute. But how it got? So how the countries has got and under this session object, how internally he has he did all these things. So before we have taken one for loop and we have iterated. But by making use of this tag lifts, how it is possible to them to all these things. So let's see whether we can find any Java class here or not. 4, right? Loop tag. What is this tag? Iterative tag. So this is nothing but in. So he is creating a tag, and he is keeping the tag in this jar. So what is tag? So tag is nothing but you can also write a custom tag on your own. So there is something called custom tag concept. There you can write all your tag related data. So let's take for each. I think it can't be what to do now. Let's open here. You can see the if you decompile that one, you can see the code written in your for each tag. Yeah, it's downloading the source. Let's make Maven to ask Maven to download the source also. Okay, let it be, guys. So we'll directly check what is this. So it is extending some other thing. So we'll directly Google it. Yeah, Grepcode is one of the beautiful online, or else you can get the source files here. Yeah, on the source file in this site, Java 2s. So you can download this thing. Open this thing. So you got all the source files of this jar file. What's the jar file here? Our jar file is jstl.1.2. So you got all the source file. Let's open that tag under what code, right? com.jsp.jstl.core tag common core. Are there any for related thing? Read support. We'll open this one. It's an abstract class. So if you observe here, you will have all the source code what he has written in for making that tag exposed to tag library. Okay, from where it is taking. For each tag extends for each support loop and implements all these things. So see, if you see here, so what are these things? So begin and all these things. You observe begin, end, step, and where status. Begin, end, step in items. Okay. So how he is treating those things. Okay, init method it is giving these things. Okay, evaluate expressions. So page context. See, if you see he is taking so how he is treating. So how this if you keep this one, from where it is getting, whether from session object or request object. So we have kept this country's object in session scope. So we haven't written session dot some kind of thing, but internally it is doing something. So from where it is doing, see, he is taking from page context. So as I said earlier, page context is used for getting the data. See, setting or getting the data under these sessions. So if anyone kept some if anything so we suppose if we use request scope for setting the data, so you can make use of page context dot get attribute. So I have kept this country's object under session scope, but internally we have checked this tag, right? This source code of this tag. So what is this source code we is using? It is using page context object, right? So it is using page context object. As I explained, the implicit object of the implicit object. So page context is an implicit object which is used to get or set or remove the data. Okay, so remove the data. So then so page context is upon request, application, and session and page. So it is upon, so that object is built upon request scope, context scope. Application is nothing but context, session, and page. So if you set any values under these objects, you can get those values from by using page context. Okay, in the same way it has did page context. So that's why it is not reflecting. So we haven't got any exception while we execute this thing. Okay, so that's it, guys. So what is taglib? So if you have some idea how we have made use of this taglib. So for each is a tag. So it is a tag. So if you know it is a tag, so it is a custom tag. Who has written the custom tag? The Sun has written the custom tag for iterating, for doing these kinds of operation. This kind of operation. So what is this kind of operation? It's nothing but for iterating. Okay, if you see out means I want to print some data. So if you see in the documentation what he has given, it's just like expression tag, right? We already discussed in the scriptlet. This is expression tag. This syntax is called expression tag. Okay, what is this? So basic iteration tag, accepting many different collection types, supporting subsetting and other functionalities. Okay, so for each tag it has some related stuff, like out is for printing the data, and for each for iterating the data. Okay, like that. So you can do many. So you can make use of many things. So let's make use of one more tag. Okay, we'll make use of this conditional thing. How this conditional will work. So this is nothing but iterating status. Status divided by 2 double equal to 0. So this status is nothing but this here I value. Okay, what I am doing? I am opening a if tag and I am saying it if status is status. So let's hope, let's see whether this will work or not. If status by 2 means 2 by 2, 1 by 2. If that, so what we call here, it's not 0. We'll call some percentile or something, right? Percentile. Coefficient of your equation is 0 means then you print that value. If not, no. So now let's see whether this will work or not. Means you will get Afghanistan and all this. You will skip these things. Oh, wow. We got something. Let's see what is the status. So you got some exception, right? So illegal argument exception. Okay. What is this illegal argument exception? Why we got illegal argument exception? So let's debug this issue. Maybe let's go to object scope value. Okay. So now we'll see what went wrong. Okay. Hmm. How to fit this one, right? Okay. And status. And print this value like this. Hmm. Good. So here we are getting something. So what is that thing? Yeah, I understood. So if we are getting, yeah, fine, fine. So what it is doing? So we are taking the country's object which we have set here in session scope. So it is taking in page context scope. It is getting that value from page context. So we are making, so while iteration we are making so each iteration it will keep that object in country or anything. So you can give your name also. So you can make use of your name dot this thing also. So whatever the name you are giving, you have to give the same name. So and where status. So what is this where status? So where status is nothing but, so if you see this thing, so name of the exported scope, the exported scope variable for the status of the iteration. So status. So to which iterator? So it is nothing but just like this I. So I have iterated first time, I have iterated second time, I have iterated third time, like that. So, but how can it be? We know the status of this thing. Okay, so we can make use of not status. So we can keep any variable here. So we can make this variable use it. So we can use this variable inside the loop. Okay.
ఇస్తాను ఫస్ట్ టైం కదా అందుకని.
Uh, I just called Money. I think he lost the internet connection. So I'll schedule the class for tomorrow.